It's perfect.
Ether Insurance is dedicated to helping the businesses and people of Baton Rouge secure affordable insurance tailored to their needs. With our curated network of insurance carriers, we provide the best solutions for home, auto, life, and business coverage. Ether Insurance, powering and protecting your world.
2020 took a toll on all of us. If you're going through a divorce or custody issue, let Dejan Law Office be by your side in 2021.
Dejan Law Office, fighting for what you deserve. 344-ANDY.
Brandon Lejean here, courtesy Buick GMC.
Call Brandon Lejean at 337-224-1867.
Come see us today, courtesy Buick GMC.
One Team Media.
We showed you what the GOAT was last year when we beat y'all 50-7.
Let's go! One team!
One team, one podcast.
Relax, big boy.
One team, one podcast. One team, one podcast.
Team One Podcast?
One Team One Podcast?
Yeah, they did a good job. Really good job.
Yeah. Why is he so fat?
One team, one podcast. One team, one podcast. One team, one podcast. One team, one podcast.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to One Team One Podcast. Matt, Jack, Sam, all in the house. Jude in the background.
Yes,
full house. Lots to talk about tonight. So it's been an interesting week with the holiday. So what did you do for the holiday? You went out of town, right?
I went to Lafayette for a night. We didn't do anything. I just kind of went and hung out with Sarah.
You took it easy. Intern William is in Florida right now.
I don't know where in Florida, but he's in Florida.
He's got our One Team One Podcast.
If you see the One Team One Podcast, that is William. That is not the official members.
Yeah.
Although William is an official member.
And Sam, you were out of town.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Real beach city.
Yeah, it was great. It's the middle of the country. Can't beat it.
Who lives in Tulsa?
My mom.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole family got together. Had to see the siblings. So it was good. Hope everybody else had a good 4th. Matt, what did you do?
Didn't do much. We went to New Orleans for one day. Me and Summer just went for like an early day, and we went down there. Went to Cafe Du Monde, whatever, and like tourists. Nothing big. But then and then we had ribs at Dad's house. So
yeah, very good.
In Denham Springs. Yeah,
Matt Anderson approved.
I approved those ribs. His last ribs, I gave him a whole bunch of shit because they just weren't cooked long enough. Like,
not to his face. You didn't do anything to his face.
No, I did.
No, you went behind his back and you talked about him on Twitter.
I did. I went on Twitter. I was like, but I did tell him. I said these could be better. These could be better. And you know it. Don't lie to everybody thinking that these are great, because they're not. They're not up to your standard. And he was like adamant that these were like, he goes, Matt, what do you think?
Well, Matt, your flavor palate is just not quite that mature.
No, I think it is mature. So
Landon Mitchell in the chat, OTOP research and development guy here.
Who is he? Is
he is
okay?
He is our research and development guy.
Okay, great. I don't know what that means.
He sent me.
I don't know what that means.
He DM'd us, and I was like, I don't know, like what is? I don't.
He
even know
wants to be a
about.
research and development guy.
This is his application right now.
Okay, you're approved.
I already approved
hired.
Right? Yeah.
So all right, let's talk about tonight, because before we came on last week, the NIL has now exploded. And it's become its own thing. We're even kind of getting involved. We're dipping our toe in it somehow. We don't know what we're doing is legal or illegal yet. Nobody really does. But we're going to talk about that tonight. But before we do that, we need to talk about a couple of our sponsors. First of all, River City's Total Maintenance. Lucas Ragusa is the man. So right now they're busy as all get out. It is 95 degrees, 100% humidity. Lucas is probably working overtime right now to service everybody's ACs in the North Shore and New Orleans area. So give Lucas a call. He will still get to you timely. I've dealt with Lucas in the middle of the summer before to try to get an AC fixed. And even though he's swamped, he's still going to get to you in a timely manner. He tries to take care of all of his clients. So reach out to Lucas right now. But total maintenance, guys, it means more than just AC. It also means plumbing, electrical. They do all that kind of stuff over at River City's Total Maintenance. It can be a one-stop shop. So call Lucas. He'll hook you up. He'll get you going. Talk to him about Coach O. Talk to him about the LSU football team. He may cut you a deal. I don't know. Tell him about One Team One podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know. He may charge you more. I don't really know. But Lucas will help you out for sure. So reach out to him. Also wanted to give a big shout out before I even get going here for Bear Process Safety. Adam Barry at Bear Process Safety. I was talking to him this week. He's got an idea for NIL. We can talk about that later. But Adam is a great guy. We need to go play some golf with Adam. He had reached out to us the other day about this, but doing great work in the process safety field. They are a very innovative process safety company, and there's a lot of traditional old school outfits out there, but Bear Process Safety is trying to be a lot more innovative, and that's why I love partnering with these guys. Plus, they have really cool logos. So reach out to Adam Barry at Bear Process Safety, and I'm sure you're going to see them on social media. They're about to start getting kicked off here. And then I don't even want to talk about them at all yet, because we're just going to bring them on. We're going to bring on Patrick Michaelson of Bank of England Mortgage. Patrick, I've known Patrick for years. Patrick, are you there? Can you hear us?
I can hear you, bud. What's going on?
What's happening, buddy?
Dude, another day.
I wanted to bring you on. First of all, we need to talk about Bank of England Mortgage. Y'all have been a great sponsor of One Team, One Podcast, and kind of wanted to give you a shout out. You've been busy with Little League Baseball for should I even say Little League Baseball?
It's not so Little League. It's not what you and I did back in the day.
Exactly.
It's a little different.
What do they call it now? Like
and you call it travel ball, tourney ball. Yeah,
that's right.
With everything that implies, I mean,
Summer's walking in on the camera, grabbing an old plate, pulling in cheese puffs. I mean, best wife ever, right here.
Send her over here, man.
That's right. So I wanted to bring you on. I wanted to talk to you about NIL, obviously, because it's just a whole new world, and I know you're kind of like intertwined and all this kind of stuff, especially with young athletes and things like that. But also wanted to talk to you about LSU Baseball just hired the recruiting coordinator just right before we came on. Dallas Baptist. I didn't even remember his name.
Yeah, me neither.
But so now we have Jason Kelly, who's the
where's our
coach.
R&D guy?
Yeah, R&D. Come on, Landon Mitchell. Come on in the chat. Let us know who that is. But we have Jason Kelly as the pitching coach from Arizona State. Right. I didn't know much about him. I had to read up on it. And now we have the recruiting coordinator from Dallas Baptist.
Yeah.
And I know you're a big baseball guy. What do you think about these two hires, and what were you expecting him to hire, Jay Johnson, coming in from the West Coast into Southeastern Conference?
I mean, I can tell you this just from dealing with young athletes in baseball. Where you're from nowadays is not that important anymore. These organizations like the Knights, the Prospects, a lot of these across the country, they showcase these kids nationwide. So by the time you're 15 or 16, I went out to the ballpark last weekend and watched a kid named Connor Griffin. He's 14 years old. And not only is he TikTok famous because that's how all the kids knew him, this kid is the number 2 perfect game player in the entire country.
Wow.
So these kids are, it's not like, Skip got there first, right? Ron Polk kind of creeped on it at Mississippi State, but then Skip got there first. And, he built a fence around Louisiana and then started getting these kids, from out of state. And everybody else just caught up. Yeah,
right.
Everybody else, youth baseball exploded in Louisiana. It was a big deal. Even when you and I were coming up, but now youth baseball is a big deal everywhere. And these kids are getting so much exposure by the time they're 16. You don't have to be, it's more about how you develop the kid at the school than it is where you're from anymore.
Right.
Because baseball kids, not in any negative connotation, they have the ability and are not afraid to leave home and go off if the situation is right. Because college baseball, if you're from Pennsylvania, you're not going to blink twice thinking about leaving to come to Ole Miss or LSU or State. It's just Penn State's not an option, right? If you're a dude and you're that age. So I think that, the fact that you get a guy from DBU, number one, the fact that any of us in D1 college baseball knows who DBU is should tell us what kind of recruiting coordinator
I guess he's
this guy
done pretty
is.
well, right?
Right. Yeah. The fact that we know who DBU is, they've been a presence at regionals, even the Super a few years ago. The fact that you put that school on the map, what can you do with LSU's resources, right? So, it's got all the looks of being a great hire, I think.
Well, I just followed Connor Griffin on TikTok. So I'm trying to take a look. He's got 10,000 followers on TikTok. He's 14, you said?
He's 14. He's 6'3", tops out at 96 at 14 years
96.
old. Runs a 6'5", 60.
60, okay.
Everybody, he's got an offer from, I promise you, he will be on the list when old boy gets to town. And that's how early they're getting to these kids nowadays.
Well, so he's going to be on a draft process.
Yeah, he'll never see a college campus.
Right.
Okay. But he'll get all the attention.
Right. So we say that, but I feel like there's going to be, I was trying to think about this with NIL, like what sport is going to be impacted the most with NIL? And football, we automatically go to because we know money gets flown around for football. But when it comes to like baseball, some of these kids have the option to go to college or they have the option to go to the pros. And if they go to the pros, they're obviously signing a signing bonus, but they're going to be sitting in minors for at least a year or two.
Right.
Or if they're a big time prospect, like Bregman was like a year and a half, I believe, out of college. But, I'm wondering if say he's got 10,000 followers on TikTok as 14, what's he going to have at 17 and 18? And is he marketable enough to where is he going to get the money to where he can just go to college and have the same amount of money? And is the major leagues are going to have to like pump it up as far as what they're going to sign people at, right?
Yeah, man. So that process with baseball has been going on for the last 10, 15 years. That's why you've seen the arms race in the SEC. Back when you and I were coming up, nobody was going to college. No pitcher was going to college that was worth his salt, right? Because, think about it. We're swinging freaking pogo stick trampoline bats. And if you're a pitcher and you get out of college back in our day with a 6.7 ERA, you're doing well, right? You're coming in. There's no real good pitching coach there. You're throwing 75 curveballs a game, 140 pitches total. So you're like, I'm not going to college. I'm going to go straight to AA and pay my dues there. But now you've got the facilities that are nicer at college than they are in the minor leagues. You've got the coaching and the programs and the pitching. So you're going to go to Oxford, Mississippi, or you're going to go to Amarillo, Texas, and sign and take the same track to the major leagues. Which one are you going to do?
Right.
So there's baseball in college has reached the quality that's how they've pulled a guy like Dylan Cruz to a campus. 10 years ago, he doesn't see a college campus. He's gone, so that's already started. The NIL piece, that's just going to enhance it. I mean, I guarantee you that, it's not doing Major League Draft guys any favors. They're going to have to pony up a lot harder earlier on, if they want to try to get a kid for, you can go play at the new Duty Noble and be the king of Starkville and, pedal tires for, Como Tire up there, or you can go, like I said, to Brownsville, Texas and ride a bus for 18 hours. I mean, which one do you want to do?
Right. And I mean, the NIL, and we hadn't even gotten to this conversation yet, but the amount of money that's going to be spent.
You see what Miami did today?
Yeah. So was it was the gym owner, right? Where it was like,
MMA guy, 90 grand, I think it was.
No, 590,000.
Okay. That's right. 500 for every football player.
Yes. For every football
90 football players.
Miami. And he's going to give them $500 a month.
$500 a month for 90 football players.
Yes.
To do what?
Represent MMA.
Okay.
They're going to represent his gym
Wow.
in Miami. And he wants to give back to the players, but they're going to help them out with social media influencing. And
that's so cool.
But it's almost like the Mattress Mac, right? In Houston.
Yeah.
This is a great marketing decision if you have the money.
Sure.
It'll pay off.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like he's going to make his money back in tenfold. But
wow.
Yeah, but
we're talking about him in Baton Rouge, so.
How many of these are going to happen that are going to be a guy that has $100,000 and he wants to spend it on a couple of players?
Yeah.
I think that's what nobody really knows the answer to yet. And it's just kind of like, and we talked about it this week, Pat, I don't know if anybody really knows in the game on this thing.
That's right. Right. It's the Wild West. It's going to be a new arms race. I mean, you come to a town like Tuscaloosa, Alabama or Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and,
and you're a 5-star.
Yeah, people are dying to do business with LSU. I mean, people in this town bleed purple and gold. I mean, you get, had Joe Burrow been here, can you imagine what he'd have walked away from this place with, money-wise? Jesus.
Right. I had heard an estimation that he could have made his senior year $1 million that year.
That may be on the low side at the end of it. By the time he got done, that might have been on the low side.
Yeah, and I don't really know the reporting on this, and we were talking to a couple of guys who said that there was a possibility that they have to report something on this, but I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of under-the-table deals, too, to where they really don't know how much these guys are really going to get.
That's right.
The biggest,
a la Johnny Manziel back in the day.
Absolutely, and now that would be legal, right? He could sign his autographs in a Las Vegas shady hotel.
Right. Room. That's another thing I wonder is what is the punishment if you don't report it? If you don't report that you made $1,000 on some little deal.
I don't think there is.
And who enforces it? I mean, IRS.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of those rules are from the school. LSU has a rule that you have to report your earnings to compliance.
Yeah, the NCAA is basically kicked out of this entire.
Yeah, so I guess it would be an LSU suspension, and then LSU's not going to suspend their own players.
No, not.
Although I mean, maybe the compliance department's kind of a bunch of assholes sometimes. So maybe,
they may be the ones that kind of step in and. I think we've already had a problem with compliance and other issues as far as drug testing and stuff like that, where I think now if they start acting up with this, it's going to be, I think Scott Woodward will put it into all of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of questions that I have too with, I mean, we were even thinking about podcasting. I don't even know what all the rules are yet on all this stuff, but what were some of the deals that you heard other than the Miami one that kind of got your attention, Pat?
I mean, I've heard of, what's going on over at Alabama, the Nick Saban's Mercedes dealership. You know that guy's working. I mean, and you just made a good point. The NCAA, like you said, they're basically X'd out of it at this factor. And honestly, they kind of called down the thunder and they got it. They for too long were so uninvolved and just not aware of what was going on with these student athletes. And, they finally got the right lobbyist group in place. They got with these states, and the NCAA we may see them go away completely eventually.
I can't believe that we haven't gotten to a point like that where at least you have a I always thought like the Power 5 was. Just
you took the words out. I thought it was going to be Power 5. I thought they were going to break off and be like, we're our own league now.
I still want them to do that. Really.
I mean, I think about the scheduling that would come out of that, the playoffs that would come out of that. I mean, you could go to a 16-team playoff if you wanted to at that point. What, you don't like that? Sam doesn't like that. You turning your mic up?
I mean, I think there's a piece of me that loves watching Coastal Carolina go in there and play the big dogs.
When they win, but they don't win 98% of the time.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, Alabama versus Akron doesn't do anything with me or whatever. But
well, we just had we had a big social media tiff today with some USL fans, and it was because somebody called them ULL, and somebody took offense to it and said, "No, we're UL, we're the University of Louisiana. You need to get it straight." And it was because there was a reporter that said ULL. I know Jude's in the background acting like he's crying. Yeah, exactly. That was it exactly where it was. Violin. Yeah, it was. Little brother was very upset that, and I had to explain that they've created a brand confusion over there.
Yeah.
Like
they've changed it so many times.
They were USL when I was in school. Now then they were ULL, and you still look on their website and they still refer to themselves as University of Louisiana at Lafayette. Right. And now they want to be.
There was something before USL too, right? Like a long time ago.
There was. I mean, I don't.
Some people just called them Southwest.
Right, I always called them Southwest Louisiana. Yeah,
I'm going to go back to that.
Jude's in the chat. What do you call USL? But.
I feel like a team like ULL, especially on the football side, can really benefit from the NIL with them being able to give players money or incentives to come there that they never would have considered it before. What do y'all think about them the NIL benefiting the small teams? Everybody's talking about the big teams taking everybody.
It depends on if they have a big booster. Like Oklahoma State is my example. T-Boone Pickens can come over the top and buy somebody if he really wants to.
Yep.
Are they a powerhouse in anything? No. But he could leverage that money and make it happen. Oregon is a school. Obviously, they're good in football, but I think they
basketball and baseball.
Well, no, you're right. But I feel like they can go ahead and just pluck a player because they're with Nike first of all, and they have the money crazy. With Phil Knight. So, I mean, those are schools that I think that would impact with that. But I think LSU's in a fantastic spot.
Oh, yeah.
The marketing that they put behind this and how they've embraced this, I haven't seen it out of anybody in the country, right?
Yeah. And, I mean, you also get the benefit of what we always have had being one school in the state, the major school in the state.
That's true.
You're not doing battle with your, rival 90 miles down the road.
Sure.
It's true.
I like Patrick. I like what you're saying about the baseball players coming to college because it's better than the minors. I mean, besides the guys in the first and second round, they're the ones getting the big bucks. Everybody else is not getting big bucks. You kind of mentioned how you're involved with Little League and travel ball. Excuse me. No disrespect.
Literal travel ball, not Little League. Yeah. Come on.
Lots of Dylans and Tanners and
Dylan's Tanner.
That's right. That's why Mississippi State was so good. When your lineup has Rowdy Jordan, Tanner Allen, and Cameron with the K Jones, no one's beating you. I don't know why Vanderbilt played that series, to be honest with you.
They were travel ball champs.
There were 3 Tanners on that Mississippi State team. You're not. When we grew up, Matt, it was like Eddie and Chad and Joe. You show me that team nowadays, you don't have a chance.
That's funny.
Grayson.
So there was a question in there, but
there was, but it doesn't matter now. All right, so with the baseball staff, do you think they're going to hire another assistant hitting coach now? I know they have 2 full-timers, so I think they would have to, if they hired somebody, it can be a full-time staffer at this point, right?
No, they can't. You're right. And with the hitting piece, Jay Johnson, that is that's his forte, man. That kind of speaks to my heart, like what he is talking about, because he's not putting down Maneri by saying it, but he's putting down Maneri by saying it because everything he talks about is everything this LSU team wasn't. Like having a group identity at the plate.
Yeah.
Being able to be a warrior with 2 strikes. This team gave up with 2 strikes. Outside of about 3 of them, you had 9 different guys with 9 different approaches at the plate, and it looked like an absolute it just looked confused at times, and him coming in, Jay Johnson, he is going to preach a philosophy of learning how to do the small things. And the small things got away from Maneri at the end, man. Like I don't know if he's just tired or whatnot, but Dylan Cruz, Trey Morgan, and, at times guys like Doty and whatnot had somewhat of an approach. The other guys, man, looked like they were game to game. You're even talking about a guy like Milazzo. If you can get that guy hitting 230, can you imagine? What the guy hit up
so much better.
14 this year or something like that.
Right, if that.
Right, exactly. He was an auto out at the end, but Johnson is going to come in and teach these guys to recognize the situation. How many times did LSU have runners on second and third, and that's where they died? Yep. All of this that's being taught, and travel ball is part of the problem of that. Dingers and doubles, right? No one knows how to push a ball to the right side of the infield anymore and score somebody, right? So that mentality has to kind of be broken, and I think that's what Jay Johnson knows. You saw Maneri with, guys came on campus and, they're swinging from their heels. They're taking daddy hacks, down 0-2. And that's not what we need you to do right there. And so I think Johnson is just going to kind of remake that team into his image. And if you watch his Arizona teams, that's what they did. They never quit with the pressure. They forced you to make plays. LSU at times, if you had the right guy on the bump, LSU would, you could watch 10 games that look like the same game this year, where in inning 2, they went to sleep, and in inning 8, they woke up and they were down by 6, and they just had, but 5 innings went by, and it was just like you could pretty much script what was going to happen at the plate.
Right.
Because, leadoff hit, stuck, pop fly to center, pop fly to left. No idea. Just lazy at bats, bad swings, don't know how to spoil good pitches.
Mm-hmm.
He's the complete opposite.
Yeah, it was the first Gonzaga game where their ace pitcher came in, and it was like, I think it was after the first inning. Me and you were just, I think we were tweeting. We were like, "It's over."
Yeah.
All game. We're not going to score a run.
Yeah, no, it was like 10 o'clock. I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to go to bed."
Yeah. Some of my tweets are the same. There's one of my tweets I think that says after the second inning, I think it's in the SEC tournament. Well, we know how the next 7 innings of this game are going to go.
Right.
You can tell. They're
turn it off, man. It's gonna, and that's what they were going to do. So it's going to be a welcome relief, and that's what the guys that are winning, that are getting to Omaha, are doing. You see 7, 8, 9 hitting 260, 280, not a $130. You're just not beating many people when 2 guys are batting sub 200 in your starting lineup. It's just not going to happen.
Especially when they a long time we would have Dylan Cruz as leadoff.
As leadoff.
You would have Milazzo as your 9-hole.
Right. It's like,
and I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Cruz
and
never has
one of the reasons why you look at a guy like Jacob Berry, who just transferred in, and you look at a guy like Dylan Cruz, and you look at their numbers side by side, you see their average and their home run numbers are actually the same. And then Jacob Berry has 70 RBIs and Dylan Cruz has 40.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just did a disservice to your entire team, and you didn't score enough runs at the end.
Right.
Although I will say that I do think Dylan Cruz, he came on the show and said that he's more comfortable in the leadoff, and I think that actually did show, because I think his numbers actually did go down, just batting average and home runs.
When they moved him down,
him to third or whatever.
Yeah, 2-hole or 30-hole. Yeah,
right.
whatever.
He did, and then they moved him back to leadoff, and he kind of got hot in postseason again.
I think now with Jacob Berry, we're kind of looking at Morgan leadoff, Cruz second, Berry third is kind of what we're thinking, and maybe like Duga or
Cody. Yeah.
4 or 5 kind of situation.
Man,
unless you get some other transfers.
Yeah. And like what you guys are saying, that's great for the first inning, but when that really matters is when your 8-hole hitter, say Thompson, if that's who the guy is, learns how to take a 1-2 pitch, an inch off the plate, spoil it into right field for a bloop single, and all of a sudden now you've got Dylan Cruz at the plate with one on and one down, and all of a sudden instead of hitting 2 down, nobody on in the bottom of the fourth.
Right. Right. And we were screaming about, I know Gio DiGiacomo wasn't healthy for a long part of the year, but when he was healthy, put him down at the 9th hole. Like,
turn the lineup over, man. Yeah,
he's a great guy. He's like a second leadoff guy where you can have him on and just get somebody on base is all we need at that point. So
no doubt.
I think it's going to be interesting, especially with we haven't heard a lot about the pitching staff, and I don't know if there's big guys coming in. They always have like a stud recruit that comes in that can be in the weekend rotation. But other than that, I haven't heard of any your big transfers that we keep hearing about are guys from Arizona that could potentially come in and just be in the starting lineup and be 350 hitters. But are we going to have Helmers as your weekend rotation guy? Like this is still going to be a scary.
He's not going to be your third baseman. I can tell you that much.
Absolutely not. Well, okay, so
kid,
speaking of,
that was bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, speaking of, Jacob Berry's coming in, and he is a third baseman / first baseman. And I heard Hunt Palmer on another show this week talking about how he potentially will be your first baseman, and you're going to move Trey Morgan into center. What do you think about that?
I don't think Morgan's moving off of first base.
You don't?
No.
You think he's
I think if Morgan was right-handed, he'd be your shortstop.
Okay.
But he's lefty. You said Hunt said Morgan potentially moves to center?
No. Yeah, Morgan will move to center because Berry is not a great third baseman, and they need to move him to first, and then move Morgan up to center.
Yeah,
I guess keep Doty at third or whatever you want to
do. He would have to, I mean, you're not going to get an upgrade from Trey Morgan at first base, let's be honest, right? No. So he would have to be not that much of a downgrade for me to potentially put him, because I think you see Dylan Cruz in center next year. I think that's where he goes, because your guys got to be able to cover some serious ground out there. And I think Morgan was just too valuable with making guys like Thompson a lot of times look better than they actually played, because that guy could bury one. He could take a ball, a routine ball in the 6 hole and just bury it, and Morgan, pulled it out like it was nothing and put it in his back pocket. So Barry would have to come in, and like I said, he's not going to be an upgrade, and nothing against the kid. I mean, the kid is fresh. I mean, Barry's also a draft eligible sophomore, so
he's only got 1 year.
You got 1 year. You got 1 year with the guy, right? Yeah. So Morgan's there. Morgan's holding that spot down for 2 more. I don't know if I see if because then if Barry leaves, then what are you going to move Morgan back? I mean, I don't know. Yeah. So I think Morgan made a lot of guys, got a lot of outs that may not happen with somebody else over there.
Definitely.
I'm with you. I'm a first baseman by heart. So like I want that guy that can just pick it out of the dirt and save, potential run coming in. I think this year a lot of people were talking about that, but really the problem that we were having was, okay, could you have moved Morgan to center if he's a good enough center or whatever it is, outfielder, and had another hitter come in at first?
Right.
Could you have done something like that to kind of like, you had to have more run production. I mean, that was what was killing us. I mean, Lando's stat line can tell you that, right?
Yeah. But I think that Johnson, again, first base used to be where you buried a guy that could catch the ball all the time or not. But now I think that a guy like Trey Morgan, again, if he was right-handed, and it's not doubting Morgan's ability. Morgan, again, if he was right-handed, would play wherever he wanted. He'd be your shortstop, like I said.
Right.
It's not doubting Trey Morgan. It's more of, do you have another guy that can go over to first base and get the outs? You might give up a ball that maybe Morgan gets to that another guy, doesn't, because percentage-wise, that happens with much less rarity. Number one, it's one position versus 3 other positions in the infield that Morgan's picking up for. So I think you may play the odds there. And unless you tell me that you can have someone come in and give you not even an equal job, but a serviceable job over there, that's tough that's tough to pull that kid off that spot.
Yeah, I hear you. I think that's kind of the controversy that was. I think that kind of came up a little bit last week in some social media stuff about is Trey Morgan going to move, and like it was almost like a mini uproar when that conversation even happened. But I think that's where he's projected in the pros, possibly is in the outfield. And not first, but
could Jason Berry play right field? Is that crazy?
I don't know if he has the arm for it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still thinking. I'm always thinking about Maneri, but like Maneri always liked to not put big arm guys in right field until Dylan Cruz.
Right. I don't mind your defensive, I guess, error percentage being a little lower this year than it needed to be if it meant you scored a whole lot of runs.
Sure. I mean, either way,
and that is part of it. I mean, offense cures a lot of woe. It covers up a lot. You know,
especially when you have a guy like, I mean, in the USA, I think intramurals that they're doing right now. I saw Dylan Cruz hit a 2-run home run, and then Jacob Berry came back with a 2-run home run.
Yeah,
in the same game on the same team. It's like, okay, this is going to be something special if they can get it right. So
right.
Well, before we let you go, let's talk about Bank of England Mortgage. You guys have been great sponsors with us. Tell us a little bit about Bank of England, if you can.
Man, sure. We are a full-service mortgage lender. It's a crew that I've been working with for about 10 years, 12 years now. We've all been together, and we're, England is not across the pond. It's England, Arkansas. It's a group out of Little Rock, all big Hog fans. So don't hold it against those guys, but great guys. All went to U of A, man. Just good dudes. And then my little world is, I've got guys in Alabama. I've got guys and gals in Mississippi, Lafayette. That's why I got to be careful talking about the Cajuns, because man, I got Corey.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I got Mr. UL over there, so I'm money talks. You gotta kind of watch that with that guy. I mean, look, this guy is the announcer at the Acadiana Rams high school baseball games. I mean, he's one of the token sponsors of UL baseball. You got to be real careful. He's Mr. Lafayette, so I'm closed mouth.
We'll get him on. We'll talk to him about it.
Oh yeah, we'll get a translator. We'll be good. But no, man, we're full service. We do all of your conforming FHA, VA, jumbo. All of the normal products. Our rates are super competitive, and we kind of, as much as it sounds kind of corny, we kind of do it the old-fashioned way. I mean, obviously we've mixed technology into what we do, but we're relationship bankers. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we are. We still, my group's called Southern States Group, and that's what it is. We say, home loans with Southern hospitality. We're just, this isn't Philly, right? So we just depend on our communities, and we kind of, my guys kind of represent all the SEC schools, and we just do business with people we know and love forming new relationships. And your loan never leaves my desk, basically. No one ever can't get you an answer. We do everything in-house, underwriting, processing, all of it's under my watch. So makes it pretty easy. And we just, we're out there to help people get into homes, which is what we all, American dream, right?
All right. And you guys have been great sponsors of us. I know we're LSU, and you have an LSU's in your heart, especially with your dad and everything, but Mississippi State's in your heart.
It is.
Ole Miss is kind of in your heart, but not in a positive way, right?
Ole Miss is it's more of
actually your sister went to Ole Miss, so
sister and brother. My little brother played football at Ole Miss.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, good sign.
So SEC is kind of in your blood.
It is.
One Team Media is trying to get into a SEC, broaden our reach a little bit. So Texas to Florida. So I feel like it's a good fit. I think there's some big things in the works as well. So somebody in the chat right now said ULL. So there you go.
There it is.
There
Mum's the word here. Like I said, money talks.
I know you got to get out, Patrick. I appreciate your time. We'll bring you back on for sure. Wealth of knowledge for baseball and travel ball.
Travel ball, baby.
Yeah, we need to talk. We need to get a travel ball update later on in the year.
I got it for you, baby. I can show you a good hat versus a bad lid. Yep.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Y'all be good, man. Enjoy.
All right, thank you, Patrick. All right, thanks.
See you guys.
That was Patrick Michaelson, Bank of England Mortgage, good friend of mine. Wanted to bring him on to talk a little bit of baseball. So let me get to a couple other sponsors while we just got him. I know we had talked about Bank of England and River Cities, and we had also talked about Bayer Process Safety. I want to talk about Relief Pools for a second. Ben Landry at Relief Pools, also another guy that is busy as all get out right now. So they're in the middle of just pool season installing. I talked to him about, look, I think I need a hot tub in the backyard. And I'm going to see if he can come out and at least give me a price on one. So Ben Landry at Relief Pools, please give him a call. That's 364-0146. Ben Landry at Relief Pools. Also, Fred's Bar. I'm going to go meet with Fred's tomorrow. We are going to have some talks that we're doing for the NIL deal that we need to discuss. We're going to hammer out all of our stuff, and so Fred's, go reach out to Fred's. They've been around since 1982 in Tigerland. Just a great establishment that everybody understands what's going on at Fred's. They do the fucking. So Fred's does the fucking. Everybody knows it. Next, we have Bocock Brothers Cigars. My friends Brant and Doug over at Bocock Brothers. They're from LSU. Jack's going to do his regular. See if you see his. You see he's got the box in his hand. He's got the Connecticut's. Those are the Connecticut cigars. We still have a few left right there. But I have two other boxes that they've given us. We appreciate all of them at Bocock Brothers Cigars. And then last but not least, we have Bogey's in Baton Rouge. Bogey's has been around in Baton Rouge since, I think, 1993. I think it's 93, if I'm not mistaken. They've been around for a long time. So go check out Bogey's. They have the patio open. They have drink special. I saw the drink special tonight was $1 Wells. So go check out Bogey's in Baton Rouge, a staple of Baton Rouge that I know very well. So we appreciate them. And with that, I wanted to get to, there's a couple of segments that we need to do, and they're throwing cheese puffs around in the living room right now.
Being professional.
Courtesy of Summer Shops.
The studio.
Yeah. So in the studio. Yep. Yeah, not the living room. We have a couple of things. So we need to talk about we need to talk about the Moxie of the Week.
Moxie of the Week?
Yeah. Moxie of the Week award.
Big time Moxie guy.
So this week's Moxie of the Week is none other than Joey Jaws Chestnut. This comes from Jude and our intern Jude. Glizzy Chestnut knocking down the hot dogs. What do you have? 76? He knocked down 76.
Broke his own record again.
10 minutes.
Look how rough of a life this guy has. Look at him and look at his face and his features and all that kind of stuff. Like,
I would consider this to be the American dream.
You think so?
Yeah.
He gets done.
Dude, just crushing dogs.
He ate
24/7?
76 hot dogs, and he got a live interview, and like what you're saying, Matt, he was like, "Oh, I feel great." Like he just got done, playing a football game, had a big game. It's like,
No, it looks bad. It looks like he's having a hard time in life. It's a really rough life. How old is he? 22? I don't know. So that's our 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes. This is unreal.
There is something to be said about his greatness, though. I mean, let's be real.
He's one of the greatest athletes of all time.
He's not an athlete, but
top 5 athlete
he
ever.
Dominates the hot dog eating competition. And if that's what you want to dominate, and dominate it. Congratulations.
Yeah, no, he does. Yeah, he does a good job of what he's good at, I guess. Who's what you're trying to say?
Who's better, him or Kareem?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or
Joey
at basketball, or Joey Chestnut at hot dog eating.
It's not close. No.
Is that what you mean?
No, I mean who is the better athlete?
Who is the better athlete?
I think it's Joey Chestnut.
Well, all he can do. Well, no. Athlete. All he's doing is he's figured out a way to get more things into his stomach in a short amount of time.
Right. He's using his athleticism.
That's not athleticism.
I tend to disagree. Look how he's not 800 pounds.
No, because
he's an athlete.
No. Here's another question for you. Do you think Joey Chestnut would ever, if you got to like a barbecue and they had like hot dogs on the menu or whatever, is he going to get a hot dog?
Does he ever casually order hot dogs? That's a great question.
Is he ever go to Wiener Central and get like a couple of chili cheese dogs?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think he will.
No, he wouldn't. Does he eat corn dogs?
Ugh.
Does he draw the line there?
I don't know.
Or is it anything with a hot dog in it? Does that mean Little Smokies? Does that mean pigs in a blanket?
Sausage. Does he even eat sausage?
Does he eat sausage?
Is it the texture that messes him up?
Even in red beans and rice, will he eat it?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I could do it. This is like
is it just
traumatization.
Like no meat the rest of the year?
This is like traumatized for forever on a food group.
And every year he's like, "Fuck, it's almost the 4th."
Like buns. How about buns? Bitch. Like bread, buns, hamburger buns.
Well, he's got to actually probably love bread because he's always soaking it in the water.
Oh, it's so gross.
Man. Yeah, I know. It is disgusting.
Have you ever seen the splash area that they have in the front?
I have. I don't want to talk about the splash area, Matt.
It's awful.
Yeah, no, the splash area is an absolutely disgusting. It's like not even a gross word, but it's just a disgusting way to describe what it is.
That's what they call it. And that's where all the reporters stand, apparently. They stand in the splash area.
Can we
splash zone, I think is what they call it.
Can we church that up a little bit?
Church it up. All right, so Joey Chestnut, Moxie Award of the Week. We give it up to you, Mr. Hot Dog Man. And now, Foxy of the Week. And this comes from Jack. Jack has the Foxy of the Week, right?
Let's go.
So Foxy of the Week is
Foxy Lady Jolie Poirier.
Jolie Poirier. So tell me why she's the Foxy of the Week. So you wanted to talk about this fight a little bit.
Yeah, I did want to talk about this. This is an exciting fight. This is McGregor Poirier Part 3.
Yeah.
McGregor took round 1. Poirier took round 2. They literally fought earlier this year.
Right.
They already have the rematch scheduled for this Saturday night.
Now I did see a tweet from Conor McGregor.
Right. And so he said,
so apparently
it's a screenshot of his Instagram.
She's trying to message him on Instagram and he screenshotted it.
It could be. He did this before with, I think with Khabib.
How do you think it's fake though? How would it be fake?
I'm sure there's ways to crop out the name and everything. I'm sure there's ways
and you
to
just
do that.
photoshopped it all together?
Yeah, because I can't imagine. If it's actually true, then this is the ultimate mental game of all time.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's actually real, could you imagine if Poirier saw that on Twitter and then goes to Jolie's phone and is like, let me see.
You got to be kidding me.
And she actually sent the message to him?
Oh, my God.
Don't you think he'd beat his ass, though? I'd be pissed off. You know what I mean?
They have a fight scheduled on Saturday.
Right. Yeah. I know this is all pub of it, but if you're McGregor, you're posting this and poking him.
Is it pub or is it real?
A big thing with this fight.
I think it's real that she messaged him. I don't think it's anything that we think it is.
They just want to amp the fight up.
Exactly. Right. McGregor donated so much to Poirier's charity, which is great, and they're professionals.
That was actually a big fuck you to the Poirier family because there were some rumors that they were trying to steal money from this charity or something, and so McGregor donated a bunch to the charity as this is how you're supposed to be charitable.
And there was something where he said he was going to donate it and he never did, and then they called him out about it.
Well, he had to follow up to get the check, but he did get the check.
So much of these guys' lives is just
you always
who knows what actually goes on,
right? You always have to follow up for the check. It's in life.
But yeah, so a big thing with this fight is that McGregor is going to want to keep it on your feet, and Poirier is going to want to take it to the floor.
Right.
So whenever McGregor tries to get in his head, I see that as he wants Poirier to try to throw big punches,
swing for the fences, and knock him out. That's
and
actually
not take it to the floor and
that's next level.
Poirier can
fight angry. Basically.
Poirier can fight standing up too, though.
Not like McGregor.
No, I agree.
If it stays on their feet, then McGregor's going to win this easily.
I don't know how much faith I have in McGregor for this fight. After watching the last fight, and
Poirier, he looked so slow.
He looked slow. Poirier took the punches, and he was a better fighter, hands down. No
doubt. That was not the McGregor I was used to seeing.
No,
that was his worst fight.
He's been a lot different since Khabib kicked his ass.
Yeah.
And
although his next fight immediately after that, he absolutely obliterated Cowboy Cerrone.
Okay,
Oh, that was not even it wasn't even a contest.
I mean, no disrespect to Cowboy Cerrone,
no,
but
he shouldn't even have been in the. Yeah,
Dana White sends him in there to get his ass whooped by his All-Stars.
And Cowboy's like the nicest dude in the UFC, dude. He's like, yeah, I'll go fight, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, sure. Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, yeehaw.
All right, so Jolie Poirier, that is our Foxy of the week, and now we have our old man take of the week.
Get off my lawn. Did you hear me? I said get off my lawn now. Get off my lawn.
It's the old man take of the week.
All right, old man take of the week. This comes actually, it was going to be Euro soccer again because it came up again.
Anytime there's like a blank in the old man, just go to soccer.
Yeah.
Right?
But this one actually, I was watching the match yesterday. That was the Phil Mickelson, Bryson DeChambeau with Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, and we get a text in the middle of it. It's our family text, and it's my dad.
Obviously,
he texts our family group, and he says, "The pace of play is way too long. They're on a pace for 5.5 hours at this point."
100% agree.
All right, so I told him right then and there, this is definitely the old man take of the week.
Yep.
Like we're watching this fun match.
It's like
it's fun for charity, and the pace of play is too long.
It's supposed to just be for entertainment.
Hurry it up.
It's like saying that the All-Star game is just like not real basketball. It's like, yeah, we know it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, it's too many dunks.
It's Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers playing golf. What did you expect? There's no one on the course.
They're
the only ones.
Sam, you agreed with this.
Oh, yeah, DeChambeau, hit the ball, bro. You're a professional.
Okay, now,
we're up here kicking it. Like, and none of my buddies, like, we might play for like what, $5 a round or $5 a
hole or whatever.
Yeah. Whatever. Sure. DeChambeau, you play for literally multi-millions every weekend, and you're just playing for charity, and you're taking a minute on your it's one thing to do your practice swings. It's another thing to approach the ball and then take another minute. Like that DeChambeau problem. And move it along like it's boring.
Right.
There's four guys hitting a golf ball.
Phil kind of took a long time too, but Phil took a long time because he was explaining all of his thoughts.
Right. Phil,
people love when he does that. If Bryson would have like explained his like things that he does and thinks, that would have actually been very entertaining.
That's a great point.
Even though it would have been like it would have been like him speaking Spanish, and like I just wouldn't have understood a word that he was saying.
It's useless stuff that he'll talk about.
Yeah, true.
But I don't. I mean, I actually thought. I mean, the Phil stuff. I thought Phil is great.
Phil, yeah. I mean,
I'd love to watch.
Phil carries.
I cannot believe they got Bryson DeChambeau in there.
That didn't make
other
any sense.
than just having a long drive. Now, I will tell you, what was the par 5 that's 770 yards?
Yeah,
and you can hit like a drive and let it go down the hill, and he hit.
Aaron Rodgers hit at 440.
Yeah, and I think DeChambeau had one that was it hit the rough, but it would have gone over 500 yards.
Well, I think so would have Phil's, but Phil hit the bunker right in the middle of the fairway. But yeah, Phil's would have also gone like 500. That was so awesome.
It was amazing.
Why don't they play tournaments there?
I don't know.
Too easy.
I mean, it's kind of a gimmick course, but like,
I think it is easy. I think it is easy, probably, but it's right. It's cut out.
Yeah, but it's gorgeous. Like, who cares?
It's cut out of the mountains right by Yellowstone. Like that area where they filmed the movie, like Bozeman,
I mean, they could
Montana.
easily change up the par, like because there was one hole that was like 280 yards and it was a par 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could change that to a par 3.
The elevations
make the course
made everything change. Though.
Yeah, dude, the elevation was crazy.
Yeah, where you could do a 770 yard par 5, but they got there in 2. Like that's
or
crazy.
like a 390 yard par 4 that Bryson hits a 3-wood and puts it 8 feet from the cup.
That's unbelievable.
And that's why they put Bryson on there. Yeah, because he can hit crazy shots like that,
stuff like that.
Well, that's something y'all don't have in Louisiana is being able to get up on a hill and smoke a drive into a fairway.
That's why
it feels great.
So Patrick lives in the Bluffs, and we could do something like that on 17, possibly, but not quite the same.
17th hole at the Bluffs is the best
elevation hole in the
close to Baton Rouge.
And actually, 18, you go up the hill again.
Yeah. Oh,
so
dude, 18 is brutal.
it's
Nobody
rough.
talks about 18.
It's
It's
rough.
probably like 500 yards, but it plays more like 650.
Yep, that's right.
That thing's brutal.
Going back to our old man take, I'm still on the side of Mr. Anderson. Like, it is a made-for-TV product. Let's hurry it up a little bit. Like, we have the freaking camera crew.
I turned it off because it was too slow.
I turned it off also. Yeah.
Well, I turned it off because the finals were starting.
Right.
Oh, well.
The Braves, but finals, whatever.
Okay, whatever.
But there was camera crews driving in front of Tom Brady, and like, I don't know. It's made for television, guys.
Yeah.
You know, it's TV.
Yeah, it's just the I would have been fine with the pace of play if the players on the thing were more entertaining. And I just didn't think they were very entertaining.
Yeah, you're not getting anything
like
from
Tom
Brady.
Brady's such a all his like jokes are such like dad jokes.
Well,
and
who would be your best foursome? Like, so 2 pros and then 2 good golf players, but they're like also.
Oh, Phil's got to be in there,
right? Okay.
Sheesh.
I was gonna say Billy Horschel. Billy Ho.
Billy Horschel.
He might be pretty good.
Just to have someone that's just pissed off the whole time.
Yeah, he's gonna be raging.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine having, instead of Phil in this one, having Brooks and Bryson together?
No, fuck that. Because it's all forced. All their little thing is just completely forced.
You
now.
sure?
It is now. I mean, there's actually like some hatred between those two.
Okay.
But everything they do now is just like, I don't believe any of this
saw
anymore.
Kisner had a tweet during the thing saying, I would love to just commentate this.
Kisner would be fucking awesome.
Yes, I think that would be a great one.
Kisner would be great. He talks a lot of shit.
Now, but what about the amateurs? Like, who could we have as Barkley was great.
Barkley was fantastic. I couldn't believe him and Phil won. That was crazy. I thought they were screwed when Barkley was on the team.
Because he fixed his swing.
Right. Peyton was great. Peyton Manning was great.
Michael Jordan
would be awesome. He would never do it, but he would be awesome.
Yeah, Peyton would be good.
I mean,
Steph was good. Steph was good. Tony Romo would be cool.
Tony Romo, yeah, that would be good.
Joe Burrow and Devin White.
I
mean, wow, that sounds like the best. I'm going to watch that. I'm going to watch all 18
White.
holes.
I mean, I don't think Devin White can play golf.
White.
That's a new thing. We need to have a segment where we take an LSU player and we go take him to play golf for the first time.
Oh, I'm down.
Okay.
But if Devin White doesn't know how to play golf, like, he's going to be good at golf. Like, even
they'll figure it out.
Once he gets it, he's going to be good at golf.
Oh, yeah, once he gets it. Yeah. Like, you give him a few months of playing, then yeah, sure, no doubt.
Well, it goes back to my
drives
okay.
Like 400 yards.
If all right, this is always my hypothetical. What if Leonard Fournette or Bo Jackson grew up in Canada and started playing hockey? That guy would be the best hockey player ever created, right?
Yes. If Leonard Fournette played hockey, or no. Actually, go back to your second one. Bo Jackson. If Bo Jackson played hockey, yes, he would be. He's already.
What are you laughing at?
Can you imagine Bo Jackson or Leonard Fournette coming at you on ice on skates?
Imagine getting stuck between Bo Jackson and the wall,
or LeBron James.
He's shattering the glass. Like every time against the wall.
I wouldn't be able to move on Earth, like on my own 2 feet. But like if you put me on ice, there's no way. It's like a freight train. I'm dead. It's concussion city. My head's gonna snap and hit the back of the eye. What a take, Matt.
That just came out of the top of my head.
Jackson on ice.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. NIL. We had talked a lot about that.
Let's talk about that for a second.
We can. Because we have some stuff that's probably going to happen here with One Team Media. With the NIL,
stuff in the works for sure.
But what else is going on in your head?
I like that idea you just had about like let's take an LSU player and go play golf with them, and let's just see what they got,
and let's have bets on what over under of what they're going to shoot.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
all right. So are we also
Dre Jenkins?
You're turning this
over under.
You're turning this
100.
into a double idea because now it's
not over 100.
Now not only are we playing golf with LSU players, but we're also starting our own gambling site.
Yes. And One Team Betting, follow us on.
Just started that on Twitter.
On Twitter,
yeah.
Williams got that.
William and Devin are running that.
Yep.
So far, it's been a lot of William. Just like there was we posted our burger rankings at Radius yesterday, I think.
Yeah, who was one?
It was Overpass.
Overpass is fantastic.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
Where was Curbside?
Curbside was at 11. They just came off the top 10.
They just missed it.
I
need to go by there. I want to
I almost
check it
went
out
there
again.
today.
Okay.
It was I'm trying to think of the top 3. It was Raul. It was
Raul's is fantastic.
Raul's was 3. Elsie's was 2.
Have you ever been to Raul's? We need to go to Raul's.
Raul's, that's a staple. Right, it's right next to Chimes. Elsie's was 2, and then Overpass was 3.
I've never had a burger at Elsie's, so
yeah, it's apparently you need to get. I've never had it either. That was the only one in the top 10 I haven't had.
Okay.
It was Akasha was 4. That was that one came out of nowhere. But yeah, I had that burger and I was like, wow, this is really good.
You know what else has a good one? It's not Akasha, but Al Basha has a good burger.
Yeah, they have a pretty good burger.
But I haven't had it in forever, and I never would order it there ever.
I used to get it there back before I was like, I understood what a gyro was.
Yes,
and
right.
Like,
and now it's like
when I was little,
it's a whole new world.
Yeah.
Yeah, chicken shawarma. You just get chicken shawarma, and you're good.
Sure.
I need to go to a couple of these places. I haven't been to Raul's in forever. Me and Summer tried to go to Raul's a couple of weeks ago, and I had to drop her off because there was nowhere to park. She gets out and she comes back over, and she was like, the line's like,
oh yeah.
She's like, I'm not even waiting.
You got to go there expecting to wait at least 20 minutes.
She not only wants a burger, but she also wants the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. They show these on Instagram a lot.
I've heard
she's
of this.
like, I
probably heard it from Summer. Actually,
probably. Yeah.
There was one burger in the top 10 called it was Dixie Made. Have you heard of that?
I have not. I saw that, but I don't know what it was.
North Baton Rouge. Like
where?
It's
Scotlandville,
like, Canada.
It's like past Greenwell Springs, past a street actually I hadn't heard of. Past Prescott.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
no,
dude,
I know where that
we were
is.
about to pull up to the place. I was like, "There's no way. There's a restaurant right here." And sure enough, there was like a little like stand. Like it was like it's all counter service outside the building.
Okay.
Love it. COVID safe.
You can only pay with cash. They have this big sign up like said since 1940. Yeah, it's not too far from downtown. Yeah, it was really freaking.
All right, that I have never been there, so I didn't even know that existed. So that's the kind of places that I love.
That place was fantastic.
NIL, other than let's take a football player to go play golf. Any other thoughts on NIL? Like any of the LSU guys that stuck out to you with some of their deals that they had?
I mean, obviously Miles Brennan signed with Canes. Is that right?
Canes, Smoothie King, and Small Sliders.
Yeah, he's making stuff happen.
Gonna be hilarious.
Max Johnson not doing anything with NIL, by the way.
Right.
Our guy
Max. QB1 is just hanging down. He's just like, hey, you know what?
Chilling, man.
We're gonna take it easy.
Can you get fired? Like, what if Bo Nix got Milo's? Like, what if Bo Nix comes out and throws 8 picks? Is Milo's going to come out and be like, we no longer support Bo Nix? They're going to cut him?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Jude is going nuts.
Who would be a good person to buy out like the entire LSU football team?
Like a person, like a company, you mean?
Company or a person, sure.
Gail Benson.
Or
the owner of the LSU Tigers.
So, car dealer that I was thinking about was Matt Bowers. He's big in the New Orleans area, and he just bought like Salisbury's Dodge. So he's got like a dealership here now. And I think he was looking at like players.
That would be pretty funny if like.
But other than that,
if the LSU football team ended up being like Dodge Chargers.
Oh yeah, we actually
after what we said.
But other than that, it would be like Gordon. Would be one.
Yeah. All those lawyers.
Yeah, Gordon.
Any of them.
Injury attorneys.
Sure.
Get a bonus every time you hurt somebody.
The Spencer Callahan Player of the Week. Richard Lipsy, but that would be the gun wholesaler. But I guess he could still do that. Richard Lipsy's a cajillionaire, but also Mike Wampold.
Okay.
But that's Wampold companies. Like, would a player? he would have to basically take a player on payroll because that player is not going to give him anything in return. It would basically just be completely him paying the player. Like there's one-sided deal. And a lot of those guys don't make one-sided deals ever.
Well, do they though? I've heard so much talk about this. It's like people are like, "Oh, we'll pay recruits, but they want something in return." It's like I would just drop like we said with T-Boone Pickens, just drop a bag if you have to. And
is there a T-Boone Pickens that is at LSU though? That's what I don't know. Like, is there a guy that's just completely committed to LSU sports that has the money like a T-Boone Pickens has at LSU? I mean, this guy's oil tycoon,
T-Boone
right?
Pickens is in his own category. I mean, he's
and that's why I like he's got Todd Graves on the screen. I mean, Todd Graves has got Canes. I mean, it's not the same stratosphere as like a T-Boone Pickens, but it's a guy that could benefit from young kids sponsoring Canes.
Yeah.
So
Canes. So they also picked up Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, they have a couple of guys.
I didn't see that until just earlier today.
And I thought I saw another guy. I forgot who they picked up. But, so another big one was walk-ons picking up Derek Stingley.
Sure.
And I think walk-ons is probably going to pick up a couple of guys.
Is walk-ons going to be like the official sponsor of the 7 jersey? I bet you that's their strategy.
That's a good idea.
That is a great idea.
Yeah.
Just going forward every time they're just going to outbid whoever for the 7 jersey.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. I guess One Team One Podcast can take the 18. We'll take the 18.
Yeah, we'll get the 18, or we'll get the.
We'll talk to Damone.
We'll get the 69. Who's 69?
I don't think we have a 69 right now, unfortunately. I always check. I always make sure.
No, that could be great though if we could sponsor the 69 every year. One Team One Podcast. We officially sponsor the 69. 69 of the year.
Whoever you are.
Yeah. So anyway, all right, we're gonna wrap it up while Jack furiously checks the 69 jersey this year. But we appreciate everybody for checking in with us tonight. Go check out One Team Media, guys.
Charles Turner.
Charles Turner. We need to call
Come
Charles.
on down.
Hey, find him on Twitter.
I'm doing
we need to DM him right now. This is ridiculous. But yeah, so yeah, Jude was shouting in the chat too.
I think we got a chat in earlier that said someone really wanted us to talk about Livy Dunn, and so we'll mention it.
Livy Dunn.
She's easily going to be paid more than anyone in the NCAA.
Oh, no doubt. Well, she has like 1 million followers on Instagram. She has like another 2 million on TikTok, if I'm not mistaken. Like it's ridiculous the amount of followers that she has. Like she could get easily $1 million a year with her sponsorships.
No doubt.
I'm pretty sure right now what she's doing is probably fielding ad agencies at this point to where she can like find the right one that's going to put her in the right position.
She'll probably do like some national advertising. You know, what's that girl's name? That TikToker also went to LSU. I'm blanking on the name now, but you know, she was big. She got really big. She like did a big thing with the NBA All-Star game. And so that's something I could see this Livy girl doing.
I have no idea who you're talking about. This is where it gets out of my realm. Like I just don't know who these people are.
It's barely in mine.
Jude is shouting again. He's like, "It's this person." He's like shouting.
Jude, I can't see your screen,
he's got his screen in front of us.
Addison Ray. I knew it's
Addison Ray. I don't even know who that is. So
yeah, I mean,
old man take of the week. I don't know who Addison Ray is.
Super big TikToker. Maybe was at one time probably the biggest.
And she went to LSU?
I think so. Yeah, and I think she went to LSU.
Okay.
Yeah, she went to LSU and then just like left because she got so big on TikTok.
Well, I could see this kind of stuff happening in sports. If somebody like this is so big, like Livy Dunn is so big, and it's like so encompassing to where she feels like she doesn't need to be on. She doesn't need to be a gymnast anymore.
Yeah,
like to help herself.
Yeah,
then why stay?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
unless you really want to.
Unless you're like, I don't know how good. I actually don't. Hands up.
I
don't watch gymnastics.
Is gymnastics going to help her make more money?
I mean, if she's like so good that she could play in the Olympics, then yeah, like no doubt.
I don't think she is.
I don't watch gymnastics.
She's kind of hot, but
whoa,
Sam said it earlier. I didn't even know she was.
Sam, I think we froze like the second you walked across. Right
no, but all right. So we really are going to wrap it up this time. We appreciate everybody for checking in. One Team Media. Go check us out on our YouTube page. I know there was a couple of YouTube listeners tonight. Go check us out at One Team One Podcast on YouTube. We have all of our podcasts under our YouTube platform for One Team. So go check that out. I'm working on some new websites. So we have our One Team One Podcast website coming up. We already have a website, but it's our shop page. But I'm developing a new one. And then I have a One Team website that we're working on right now for One Team Media. So they're
that'll cover everybody.
They're working furiously in Egypt right now for that one. So we appreciate everybody from joining us tonight. We appreciate all of our sponsors as usual. Jude in the background, we appreciate you. We got Sam and Jack over here. And it has been One Team, One Podcast.